What you really want is liberation. You want to be like Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty is tall. She holds a torch up for all. Lady Liberty represents something greater than herself. Lady Liberty is reverence, integrity, dignity. Lady Liberty is authentic, original. She is a powerful sound current. Lady Liberty, she is very much like a radio tower. She is a broadcast, and she broadcasts radiance. Radiance for mankind. Radiance for all. Radiance in the mind, radiance in the heart, radiance in the body, radiance for life. Liberation, like Lady Liberty. She is unity. She is able to rise above separation, duality, diversity. She is able to have the eyes of a hawk with great understanding. Lady Liberty is tall. She's very tall, and therefore she can see things clearly, not for the illusion, but for the insight. Lady Liberty, her eyes are the cosmos meeting the earth. She is the bridge, and she bridges higher intelligence to mankind, giving mankind the cosmic understanding that brings order to chaos. Order to chaos. Lady Liberty is spacious. Spacious enough to be able to receive a multitude of perspectives, a multitude of perceptions that are vast. And through connecting with the many, many perceptions of mankind, she is very wise because she listens. Lady Liberty is watchful as she watches the sea. She watches the water. She watches the land as a guardian, as a symbol for radiance, integrity, dignity. And what integrity and dignity gives to humanity. Moral clarity, cosmic connection, wise intelligence, endured prudence. Now this liberation voyages far, voyages deep, voyages wide to understand the many layers to life. So that when Lady Liberty holds her torch up for all, that torch is authentic to the principle of unity. It is not an illusionary torch. It is a powerful torch because it has traveled wide. It has traveled deep. It has traveled far across the land to know, to greet all of humanity, to greet the poor, to greet the homeless, to greet the desperate, to greet the rich, to greet all, makes her a powerful being. Because in her heart is not just one group of persons, not just one group of intelligence, not just one group of understanding. No, it is unity, innovation, friction between man finding its creative solution. And that's what gives a sense of leadership, a sense of reverence. So what you want is to be a leader of your life and your evolution. Because your evolution is something that requires your attentiveness, your ability to voyage, and your desire for greater understanding, so that you too can be tall. You too can be expansive, so you can have eyes of the hawk, but roots grounded into the earth like a tree. Now, we've been working on this for many lifetimes. This is not one go around. This is many go arounds in life. But you can decide right now, because the power of activation, the power of words, the power of feeling, the power of electromagnetic currents being activated, being jump-started, being charged, that is your command. That is your connection to the 5 elements. That is your creator self. We all think that we are small, that we are incapable, that we are dull, and that we are fading, and that we are in demise, that we are ill, that we are dumb, that we are unworthy. We think many things about ourselves. And we're told many things about ourselves, and we are presented many things about ourselves that takes our energy. But in order to be tall, to be liberated, we need energy. And that energy you're not going to find out there. You're going to find it deep inside of yourself. Because deep inside of yourself is the whole universe. We can reach outside, reach all around, look. But only when we listen, when we are attentive enough, we can feel something, a subtle light within us open. And we gain great energy from that subtle light opening inside of our heart. It is electromagnetic expansion, the heart chakra activated. The heart chakra activating the other chakras, activating the body, activating the energy field, activating the glandular system. This is no secret. This is knowledge. This knowledge is here for us. It is here. But you must open your mind, open your space to allow the expansiveness of this knowledge to be able to be received within your space. The smaller the space, the less information you are able to hold within your space. You need great capacity to hold higher information. So genius is not somebody that was lucky. Genius is spaciousness. It is a person who has widened and deepened their being enough to be able to download higher information. Not only download, they have some sort of mastery within their ability to have a large capacity to sustain the original or authentic vibration that filters from the cosmos, from the solar system, from the planets in the solar system to Earth. Now, our many distortions we fill our mind with. We have many filters of judgment, many filters of religion, of ideology, of culture, of what we are seeing, what we're presented with, groupthink, and we can dance in that all day long. We can dance with the ego, we can dance with the victimization, we can dance with all of the violence on TV. We can dance with it all day long. But the moment we decide to be attentive, to be aware, to be conscious, to be sensor perception, we know exactly what's going on. Sensor perception person knows what's going on. Can look at the psyche of another person and see the psyche for what it is. Not for what the person says, what the person does, what the person is projecting. They can see the deeper projection within that person, the projection of the shadow self. Now, the shadow self is simply the suppressed self. The things that maybe we deny, or we lie, or we cover up with something else. But the psyche is the psyche, and when the psyche speaks, that is what its truth is. Now, the psyche can be a subconscious, it can be unconscious, all the things that are unhealed. A sensor perception can see it, can feel it, can know it. So all the unhealed things in us must be healed if we are to become a whole person. Lady Liberty is a whole person. She has endured reverence. Now, endurance is everything on life. Without endurance, we are just simply fading, or we are dulling. Now, if you look at the many flowers, you look at the many plants, the many trees, everything goes through a period of reflection and a period of action, a period of going within and a period of blooming vibrantly without. But everything is vibrant because it is rhythmic. It is knowing what to do. It is flowing with the electromagnetic current of Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is very powerful, a lot more powerful than our neurosis, a lot more powerful than our secret manipulated agendas, is a lot more powerful than the chaos of malnourished intelligence of man, the weirdness of malnourished intelligence of man. We know this malnourished intelligence of man. We've seen it many times, from the Roman times to the Christ times to the Egyptian times. We've seen it all across this world, what malnourished intelligence is. It is fixed mindset. It is authoritative dictatorship, trying to control the 5 elements from a state of insecurity that is not true power. Security and a sense of confidence is ruling power over other people, shrinking other people, compete, compare, and contrast, getting people scrambled. We know this scrambledness, this smog, and it is our greatest challenge. It is the smog, it is the trash yards that nobody wants to clean, because we are all pretty much waiting for somebody else to clean it. We're all waiting for Lady Liberty to come alive in her giant being and to basically tell us what to do. We're telling us how to do it, when and where to be. But that is not our evolutionary necessity. Our evolutionary necessity is becoming liberty inside of us, becoming a tall giant being, so that we can know each other from our soul, from our expansion, from our mastery, from our victory, rather than from insight, revelation that is somebody else. To feel it in the body, to expand it within the body, to expand it within the aura, is what we came here to do. To have a radiant aura. Now, we travel through the many masteries, we travel through the many chakras, the many zodiacs, all to learn many things and many things and many things. And it is play and it is knowledge. And play and knowledge is quite fun, it's quite laughter, it's quite challenging, but it's quite rewarding at the same time. But it is not reward and punishment, as we think in the whole karma or cause and effect. Karma, cause and effect. I do something poor, I receive something poor. I do something kind, I receive something kind. We are many things, and we are experiencing many things along this journey to master our malnourished intelligence, to overcome, surmount the malnourished intelligence, to clean up the malnourished intelligence, so that we can rise into our Dharma, which is something greater than we will ever conceive. It is a perception that is unified, connected, and whole within the self. So, in all our karmas, in all our impulses, and all our reactions, and all our dramas, it is God playing out inside of us, God. We are learning how to generate, how to organize, and how to deliver energy, and we can deliver it in many ways. We can deliver it weakly, we can deliver it powerfully, we can deliver it in a karmic kind of subconscious interlock, or we can deliver it in a very clear-headed victory. And all of that is not our dread, it is our learning what it is to experience God. And the many stories, the many dramas on planet Earth. Generate, organize, and deliver. Deliver, destroy, create. It's just a game of forms. It's a game of life. But you deciding to hold that torch up for yourself, for your liberation, is deciding that my energy, my fulfillment is freeing myself of all of the confinement, of all of the things, the habits, the attitudes, the beliefs, the addictions, the obsessions, all of the things that basically block me, lock me into what does not give me energy, give me creativity, give me mastery, give me knowledge of myself. So what we can do is we can dance around in our ego and our falseness and our pretending, or we can decide to welcome ourselves. Not as fragmented, I'm not going to look at that, I'm not going to look at that, as an open being. Because when we open ourselves up to the things that we don't want to look at, we gain energy doing that. Because we're showing ourselves, I am ready to be whole. Because Lady Liberty is not this fragmented, I don't want to look at this, I'm going to ignore that, I'm just not going to do that. Lady Liberty is, I must face life. I must face the chaos in order to know order. I must face the chaos. If I ignore the chaos, if I run away from the chaos, if I suppress the chaos, I am not liberation. Liberation is the very act of gathering your heart to the many things within you, the dynamics, the complexity of you. That's what gives you a sense of liberation, because then, once you do it once, you overcome something, you face something, you gain momentum, and therefore it becomes easier to do it again, and it becomes easier to again. And not only does it become easier, you gain a sense of agility, you gain a sense of wisdom. You kind of know what you're doing. You kind of know, you get to learn how to manifest life, how to acclimatize life. Not for yourself, necessarily, for your radiance that is timeless. Timeless is radiance. And how we gain that sense of radiance that we all want. We try to pull it from each other. We try to get it through other people, through sex, through money, through drugs, all of that. We're trying to get some sort of radiance. We're trying to get some sort of wisdom. We're trying to get some sort of power that we can use to basically get what we want. But that getting what we want is on a soul level. It only comes through you liberating your boundaries, your blocks, your locks, and discovering your original light. Your original light. Your unique sound current. And that unique sound current is not something you can attach yourself to somebody else. You can subconsciously interlock with somebody else. You can find out there in television, you can find out there just in drugs and sex and money. You can get all the money and travel and buy all kinds of yogis and people to clear out your inner self dullness. No. It is something you look at your circumstance, where you're at right now, and decide, where I'm at right now, my whole house is full of yogis. My whole house is full of teachers. My whole house is full of travel. My whole house is full of everything that I require to be liberation. It's like liberation, you're not bound to the groupthink. You're not bound to what everybody else is doing. You're not bound to the create babies, just get married, just find whoever. No. You're free. You're an energy that's unlocked. You're an energy that's unblocked. You're an energy that now, like Lady Liberty, has a torch of light, awakened, radiance, a lantern light to the golden door. And that golden door, gold energy, cosmic vibrato, is bringing down to earth a visionary self. Like Pablo Picasso Albert Einstein, Da Vinci. They each hold up a lantern of light to the golden door, showing humanity the power of liberating oneself of all of the things we tie ourselves to, we tell ourselves we are, and opening ourselves up to a cosmic community. When we access that cosmic community within the brain, within the neurocortex, within the glands, within the chakras, we realize living the life, going for it, going for it is how we can live a complete life. Going for it. So whatever you must do, but you are not doing because you are wrapped up in all kinds of fear, all kinds of childhood issues, all kinds of things, you could unify yourself. You can bring all that stuff to your heart and you can decide right now, through the power of your golden door opened, I am free because I decide to face the blocks, the locks as a key. And right then and there, in that very statement, you visualize that key, your body responds, your mind responds, and therefore your mind will bring to you keys to unlocking doors, tools, technologies, persons, places, and things that can unlock and unblock you. And when you state that as an affirmation, you put energy around it, you breathe into it, you move to it, you get into the rhythm of it. You realize life is not simply we are born and we get married, create babies, and have careers. No. Life is mysterious. It's dynamic. It's complex. It is doors. Life is doors. And we come into this life and we come into the womb of our mother, and a lot of those doors are locked according to our mother's level of awareness, according to society's level of awareness, according to everything that we absorb in our environment. But liberty is a key you find hidden within yourself. It's there, but it's just deep within you, behind the layers and the layers and layers of all of this lies and pretend, the ego dance of I'm doing good, but then you have no radiance. A person without radiance, there's something inside of themselves they're not being honest about. They're doing something that is not true to their soul. Because whenever we do something that's true to our soul, as Nikola Tesla would say, there's radiance in our eyes. Like Yogi Bhajan's eyes, like Nikola Tesla's eyes. You look in their eyes and you see a light. Because they are not hidden behind the shadow, which is illusion, which is hidden self, which is suppression, which is basically presenting something that isn't real. No, the light is the shadow. The light becomes a shadow, and the shadow becomes what? Not so much a shadow. It becomes unconditional love. It becomes, I am a well-rounded person. I am the darkness, I am the light, but I am the balance because my light is my shadow. It is the person around me. It is the shadow that is like lingering all around me. And that shadow is not something hidden, it's something of light. Then our eyes can speak of radiance. Then we can start to be real. Do we have a lot of realness in life? Not so much, do we? We have a lot of pretend, we have a lot of ego dance. I'm going to kind of just do this because I'm very insecure deep inside, but I don't want people to know I'm insecure, so I'm just going to present these false statements, these false lifestyles, but my light is not showing through my eyes, is it? My liberation, because I feel very tied to the things that are inside of me. I feel very tied to my shadow. I don't know how to move it. The very fact of knowing how to move your energy, knowing how to distribute light, knowing how to circulate yourself with the rhythm of your subtle light, you become a key. You become a tool. You become a technology. You become a gift. You become a flow. You become multifaceted. You become dynamic. You become well-rounded. You become an experience that is not infliction. It is not karmic doing whatever. It becomes purposeful. It becomes a movement. And when we think of movement, we think of precision. We think of clear-headed. We think of moral clarity, a movement throughout time. A movement is integrity. A movement is dignity. A movement is tall. A movement is expansive. A movement transforms. A movement evolves a collective intelligence into something brighter. Every movement, we can either dull us, can expand us, and all of it is simply a part of us playing out God, the many stories of God, as we learn ourselves and learn greater understanding, greater mastery. So that liberation, unlocking, unblocking, the key to the golden door, the lantern held up for all, is your radiance, is your 108 suns met within your heart, met within your body. It is your courage. It is the movement, the reverence that brings everyone around you into a higher dimension, a higher reason for being alive. Joy. And that liberation that you are. Endured liberation, endured energy, endured dreams, endured vision, endured. It is light striking through the alluring eyes and penetrating the earth with joy to live, regardless of what's going on. The joy to live. It is the order to the chaos. It is the calm amongst the storm. It is the balance when all is in balance. It brings the duality together. Not as an opposition, as a competition. It brings duality, like the voice of reason. Lady Liberty's the voice of reason. People listen because it is real. People can feel it. It is real because they know that person is real. They're not a shadow. They're the light shining through. And people know such brightness is real. We are all starlights deep inside. And such brightness commands. Such brightness commands truth, justice, balance. Because that voice of reason has endured. That voice of reason has higher perspective. That voice of reason is not so easily tempted, easily dulled, easily drained, easily hateful, easily angry, easily unforgiving, easily you betray me, you lie to me. that voice of reason is, I see the duality, I see the opposition, but I'm not either or. I am watching, listening. I am reverence the chaos and the order coming together. Coming together. Coming together. Like a song. And I am that song. I am that symphony that speaks of rhythmic eternity. So bring rhythm to life. Rhythm becomes your brainwave. Rhythm becomes your embodiment. Rhythm becomes your dance and song. Rhythm becomes your creation. Rhythm becomes what brings duality to peace together. Rhythm has always brought chaos into order, because rhythm is who we truly are when we are soul, when we are most radiant. Rhythm is the higher dimensions. Rhythm is the key to unlocking doors. It is not a secret anymore, is it? Rhythm is the frequency, is the broadcast. Lady Liberty knows, Nikola Tesla knows, Albert Einstein, Da Vinci, Pablo Picasso knows. It is the light shining through that is real. It is authentic. It is integrity, it is dignity. It does not need to hide. It does not need to lie. Because when you have such unconditional love inside of you, duality is not, oh, I gotta hide this. Oh, but I like this. I gotta, do this, but I can't do this. I gotta do this. And it becomes a conversation. It becomes a relationship duality has. It becomes awareness, a consciousness. You're looking at it. You're watching it. You're not reacting, but you're just watching. You're watching. You're learning. You're taking notes on yourself. You're refining your rhythm. And you're learning what is not rhythm because you're attentive enough. Like Lady Liberty, watching the ocean, watching the sea, watching the water, watching the land, holding up a torch, watching, listening, taking it in, life, with a great sense of, I am the key and the golden door. I open. I open. I open. I unlock, I unblock society's limitation, and I bring forth waves of new nuances, new thoughts, new patterns, new rhythms. And these rhythms I give through my embodiment, through my radiance, through my broadcast, through my expansion, through my brightness, offsets destruction, balances with creation, and brings us into our progression, our evolution forward, so we may never get stuck, because that is not truth, to be stuck. It is not truth at all. It is simply a door calling to us, wanting to be unlocked, unblocked. And when we face the shadow, we face the door. The door is the shadow because it's in the secret realm of our being. But it's not secret when we're inside of our heart, is it? When we're outside of our heart, we don't really know our heart, do we? But when we're in our heart, we know our shadows, we know our emotions, we know our fears, we know our doubts, we know ourself, and therefore we know what we're doing, we know what we're thinking, we know what we're projecting out, we know what we fear, we know what's going on and how we've created what's going on, because we know our heart and we know it's fragments, we know it's torns, we know it's wounds. But when we heal, the shadow becomes a door. The key becomes the mind. And the opening of the door becomes our light shining through. The fixed, stagnant culture now has light of evolution pouring through, light of new nuances pouring through, light of joy, moral clarity, reverence shining through. And when we know how to unlock, unblock, when we are the key, that's all we want, is to be the key to our self-mastery. So therefore, we're never tied to life, we're never attached to life, we're never bound to a circumstance or situation. We are the key that can see possibility, opportunity, innovation, energy of radiance, energy of the light, energy of authenticity, expanding us into a person that is victory over the 5 elements, victory over earth, victory, which is Lady Liberty. I am me. Yes, my culture, and yes, the circumstances around me can be quite chaotic. Duality is playing in opposition. There's madness, there's illness, there's disease, there's trash yards nobody wants to clean or has the energy to clean, but I stand tall. I stand tall because the key inside of me speaks of a golden door. I unblock and I unlock. And I hold that great understanding for humanity, long enough for humanity to see it in themselves. We have the key. We have the key to balance, harmony, rhythm,